I have to unmute my mic for you guys to hear me. Hello again. Good morning. It is Stephanie Lodge, the Hug Angel. Hello. How is everybody? Oh my goodness. Welcome to Q&Angels, guys. This is the first Q&Angels for 2021, January's Q&Angels. So I'm excited to have you here. I'm so blessed, in fact, to see all of your shiny faces in the stream with me. Welcome to live on Facebook and YouTube and wherever you're streaming in from. Just know that you can comment. You can ask your question live on demand from the Celestial Councils of Diamond Light, and I will do my best, my very best, to give you all that I can to answer your questions. So welcome, Lisa. Welcome, Elaine. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Mom. Hi, Suzanne. Cheers, everybody. Are you guys getting your distilled water on? I don't know how many of you have heard. Water, water, water is so important. Hydration right now, especially because we are bringing in and anchoring into our bodies and our systems so much living light. Now, what do I mean by living light? Well, this is something interesting that came in before I went live today, was there is the light stream, right? I call it the angelic light stream. This would be all consciousness in the quantum universe that's constantly kind of moving around, and we can tune into that and bring it in, right? The living light is when it is alive and animating a vessel or an aspect of material elemental creation. Okay, so you might find it in your favorite crystal, right? I got my diamond going, my Vogel. You might find it in your own body. You might find it in the ocean, the trees, whatever is coming into form, okay, is what they mean by the living light. So how are you living your light today? What are you bringing into form through your vessel, through this sacred instrument? That is the biggest question the angels have for you is it free and clear and pure, unadulterated love that's radiating joy and kindness and peace? Or are you feeling a little static? What I mean by static is a little off, a little fearful, having some anxiety, having some pain in the body, having something going on in your life that's causing, you know, grief and suffering, misery in some way. There's so much in the world happening. And what I know is we are constantly moving into a state of alignment of harmony or disharmony in any given moment. So I think what I want to start with, let me just do a few things here, just so everybody who's coming in knows where they are. We are Q&Angels. We are coming in live. Welcome again, if you're just joining us. I want to just kind of give a moment to you to remind you that you can subscribe to the Angelic Academy newsletter, The Sovereign Source, to get the notifications of Q&Angels and any of the programs that Angelic Academy offers that I offer as an angelic light stream myself. And what I mean is, when I bring in the current, like right now, I am running hot, okay? So I know a lot of you are tuning into my field, and I'm feeling you. And so I'm taking a moment to just say, you can find me as the Hug Angel on all social media. You can find support in the social media network, The Angelhood, at theangelhood.com. You can also find all the ascension advisement that your little heart requires or big heart requires at angelicacademy.com. All right, so I wanted to give that little plug first before people kind of come in and out. And we'll be moving that through periodically only because sometimes this is your first time here and you're like, who is this woman? So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that you can join us and commune with us and find a sacred tribe that aligns to all levels of light consciousness, all right? So whether you are into the star seeds and the galactic, or whether you are into angels and all the levels of Christ consciousness, the crystallized light that's coming into form, whatever you align to, what your harmony comes into, right? And your highest joy, you can find inside the Angelhood, because there's all sorts of consciousness in there commingling in sacred ways that is here to support you in your ascension or elevation of your personal vibrational frequency, okay? All right, so welcome again to Q&Angels. I'm Stephanie Lodge. I'm known as the Hug Angel. I'll be hugging it out with you here today. And I just want to say we have a few questions that came in early through the Angelhood. So if you are a member of the Angelhood, that's one of your little perks that you get, is you get to ask your questions in advance. And they do, you can ask anything personal or universal. That's up to you. I will always say that the angels will usually put a universal spin on most of the questions, just because they know who's in the room, so to speak, and they want to make sure there's some wisdom for everybody. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Okay, but first I'm gonna get my oils on, all right? How many of you have your oils with you? For those in the Halo with me, Halo is my harmonic alignment light optimized space that I create. You know that I use my oils. And I apologize that the lighting's a little off today. I'm coming in live from the beach, which is kind of why I'm running a little warmer than normal, because there's a lot of frequency out there with the waves crashing. Not that you can hear them right now. So I'm going to be grounding in through my sacred oils for a minute here. So give me a minute to just tune in. And just come into your heart. Come into your breath. Come into the sanctuary. Okay? Come into the space of the heart. Just grounding in. All that excitement and that energy and that kinetic energy that comes in at first because everybody's gathering. And angels get really super excited when we gather. And what I mean by that is the energy, the kinetic consciousness is gathering around us for this divine appointment. So they're already here and they're like, yeah, let's talk. And so the Q&Angels aspect, you know, that I'm going to bring in takes me a minute to kind of read the room. It's the best way to say it. All right. We are in YouTube, we are in Facebook, we are coming in live all over the place. We're in the cosmos, Lisa. Just reading some of your comments, so thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Wendy, for coming in. Got your Helion, awesome. And just coming into the breath is super, super important. Now what I'm doing also, I'm resetting the angelic frequencies. I'm resetting the nervous system. We tend to run in the beta brain waves. We're analyzing, we're in constant like fight or flight sometimes, you know, when we're just reading the world and what's going on in the world. So we want to go and access the more refined states of consciousness versus the beta brain activity. So I'm just kind of tuning into that aspect of me as well. And all of you gathered here. So just give me a moment. And it gives us time to relax and come in. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for joining. Okay, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to set up Halo first. Halo is going to create a harmonic alignment light organism or organization around each and every one of you individually and us as a whole. And what that serves to do is bring everything into harmony with love and peace and kindness and what I call graceful authority. Okay, so no matter what you're coming in with, if you are grief-stricken, if you are in physical pain, if you are coming in really high vibe, whatever it is, okay, we're going to hold the harmonics. So there's a universal consciousness that's always operating here that I call the sovereign state. That sovereign state you can liken to the 0-point field of co-creation. It means nobody's going to pick up the energies of others, right? It's all mitigated and harmonized so that whatever people are coming in with is their own, and yet they can receive whatever they require in this moment to up-level or elevate, as I like to say, their own personal vibration without lowering or dampening anybody else's. I hope that makes sense. So everything's energy and frequency, right? So for me, my job is to make sure we're all playing in the playground of the angelhood here in harmony. All right, so I'm going to do that first. And I do that through sound. I got my oils on, so we got that kind of centering in and the grounding in, right? Hello, Ron. Hi, sweetheart. Yes, we're buffering. Oh my goodness. Am I buffering? Is that what you mean? Okay. So again, I apologize. I have more light behind me than in front of me a little bit. So I know I seem a little bit in shadow, but you get the sparkles, so that's good. And as long as you're getting the frequency of high vibrational intention, that's what matters. So we're going to just bring some halo in. And again, this is me calling in the highest counsels of living light and ultimate love. So here we go. Just tune in, close your eyes, breathe, whatever feels good to you. And just taking a deep breath, opening the heart to receive. Coming into the center. Opening up all the energy centers, the arcs. Feel into that alignment now. Settling in and grounding in, held by Mother. And clearing the field. And the knowing and the sight. Thank you. Okay. All right, so I call forth the angelic light stream of all creation, the diamond light nations, and the sovereign light councils to be present with us now as the ultimate celestial wisdom that we can access in this moment. I call forth Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Uriel, and Archangel Gabriel, in that order please, to encrypt and sanctify this sanctuary, to essentially secure this live stream. I also call forth the Seraphim, the Ophanim, the Elohim, and the Cherubim to create a halo of living light and ultimate love around us now, allowing only for the highest consciousness of this immaculate grace, of this beautiful field of intention. Allowing for only the highest consciousness of living light, ultimate love. Yes, thank you, Michael. Escorting out anything of interference. That includes static and distortions of consciousness, of belief. And I'm also asking that everything be buffered and sanctified so that everybody participating in this live stream, now in this living moment or in the future, is always held in the highest harmonic of optimized light and ultimate love. Thank you. I call forth the Christed councils, the ascended masters, and the gatekeepers, those who hold the bridge to the highest states of ascension and consciousness coming in onto the planet. And this means the diamond light itself of Source, the Mother, Father, God, Goddess principles, the Shekinah, the Sophia, the aspects of energy that are here to bring forth the highest frequencies of consciousness, the celestial wisdom. And I ask that I am a clear and present conduit for this wisdom, that I may receive the highest frequencies to convey to those listening. And I recognize Yeshua, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Grandmother Hannah, and Father Joseph for being present here, and I'm grateful to them for their counsel for those who are in the more traditional energetics of ancient angelology, those who recognize angels as beings of light. But what we are here to know in this moment of now is that we are the embodiment of the frequencies of that angelic light. And we are here to anchor that through our living life stream in this moment of now. And we give permission to do so. We thank them in advance for ushering in this beautiful diamond age where we are multifaceted and multidimensional. And I ask for a buffer of the titanium and platinum frequencies to create a shield, if you will, a boundary between us and the rest of the sovereign universe. And what we know in this moment is we are held, and we are whole, and we are holy. I ask Archangel Zachiel and Lady Amethyst to anchor in the violet or amethyst light stream beneath us so that it may transmute and transform anything that we are willing to let go of today as this wisdom comes forward and the answers come in. So thank you, angels, for being here. Thank you, angels, for being here and hugging it out with me now. And just come into your heart and give yourself a big hug of light, healing, universal grief through hearts united with grace. We are the hug stream. We are the hug angels in living light form. Thank you. Okay. So thank you for being here once again. All right, I am Stephanie Lodge. If you're just joining us, I just want to say thank you again. I am an Angelic Ascension Advisor for those of us on the planet today, ushering in the Diamond Age, which means it is multifaceted, it is always changing, it is malleable to the consciousness that you hold. And so the universe right now that is kind of playing out in the world is a mixed bag, if you've noticed. And I want to just answer some questions that are going to come up in the future, meaning people who are going to tune in and say, oh, I wish I was part of this live, I would have had this question. I'm going to kind of tap in and see what some of those answers might have been for you guys in advance. So one of the things that I know is everything comes down to frequency first. Everything's created from this light frequency, this light consciousness, and then it comes into life or matter, right? And we are the anchors of that through the consciousness that we embody and embrace, and on board is our beliefs. And then we project it out into the world, right? And so when we see mixed information coming in, okay, when you have information on one side of things saying, oh, this is happening, and then on another side, I'm not experiencing that, and it's conflicting. What that demonstrates is there's a multifaceted, multidimensional playground already in effect. That means this world is a little bit malleable based on what you want to experience. So what you give your energy to, what you give your belief systems to, will then occur as your experience. What you are manifesting around you in the quantum field is going to be based on the energetic frequency that you are constantly resonating and emitting, okay? So if you are running in the toxic energies, and what I mean by that is limited beliefs, negativity, constant complaining, constant worry, fear, anxiety, just really looking at the world as a dark place conspiring against us, not visualizing a potential condition that is uplifting, loving, and harmonized, right? If you're running in those toxic streams, my invitation to you is unhook yourself. Come back into the stream of consciousness that is you. You are the stream. I actually put out an audio earlier this week that said we kind of tend to run like salmon in the river, and people are hooking us and pulling us into the shore that they want to create, that they're anchoring in as the land, and we're in the river and we're like, whoa, what's that? Oh, what's that? And we're taking the hook, the bait, okay? And my invitation to you is, instead of being the salmon, be the stream itself. Just stay in stream, stay in flow. What does your heart feel? What does your heart know? What are you creating? Regardless of the conditions you see around you, regardless of what anything is telling you, what do you want as your experience? And you get to create that. And you might say, yeah, there could be things going on in the world that don't feel so good, but in my reality, this feels good. I feel good, right? So we have to know that at any moment we can choose again. And that is the main message today from the higher, is that we get to decide what we're anchoring in as light into life. We are the material dream that is coming awake in every moment, all right, through our consciousness. So that is the overall, all right? Now, I want to say this. If you are coming into YouTube just now, please feel free to ask your questions. YouTube and even Facebook, you can try to ask, and I'll let you know if it's coming through. Lisa, I know you're on Facebook, and I saw your text or your comment. So I do think that if you're on Facebook, guys, and you're watching live on Facebook right now, welcome. You're more than welcome to join us also on YouTube. You can also go to angelicacademy.com and look for Q&Angels, and there's a button there that'll take you directly to YouTube if you can't find your way to YouTube easily enough to get to this broadcast, if you're watching live. But I want to say, you are welcome to ask your questions on demand now, and I will get to them. But what I'm going to start with are the questions that came in advance through my Angelhood community, and I invite you to consider joining the angelhood.com. The Angelhood is a free space, a social network that essentially is designed to harmonize us daily, all the time. You can come in and find beautiful posts from your fellow angels in there. So, hi Lisa, okay, she's on YouTube now. But either way, just know you're welcome to join us inside the Angelhood for the next Q&Angels next month, and ask your questions in advance and get kind of in queue early. So I just wanted to make sure people know that. Okay, so let me just go to some of the early questions that came in. All right, so the the first question that came in was from Jeanette, and she asks, can the angels share their guidance on navigating the darkness and negativity of humanity at this time? So I think that was a little bit answered just a minute ago, but what I'm going to just add to that is, if you are witnessing the darkness or negativity, as we sometimes call it, what you get to ask yourself is, am I here to transmute that, alchemize that, and aka shift that into a higher degree of consciousness, meaning a lighter, more expanded view of consciousness than it currently is showing up as? Meaning, are you an instrument of change? Are you a change angel, right? That is here to change the world through your own vibrational frequency by witnessing things that might not look that great, and you bring them into your heart and you move through the feeling of them, and you witness them and you watch them, but you don't take it into your system, right? You don't onboard it as your belief. You simply go, oh, look at this. Look what's happening here. This is not what I would choose to experience. Given that I am experiencing it, what do I need to know in this moment that it's bringing up for me? Go into the feeling of that, okay? Our feeling is our core frequency. That is the most important to pay attention to, because it is coming from the heart. And it's not about running away and escaping it, going to get high and going to, just meditate it away. It's not happening, right? It's not about that. It's actually going, okay, here we go. What am I feeling? And getting really clear on the feeling, right? Getting really clear that feeling is safe. It is safe for me to feel, right? Because oftentimes we don't want to go into the feeling. So the best advice I have for you is, whatever you are feeling coming into your field, go into the feeling of it, the truth of it, and then bring light in. Go into the highest states of consciousness where you go, okay, I'm going to just visualize light coming into my body, visualize light coming into my heart. Breathe that in. And that's when you become a living light alchemist. That's when you start to shift that witnessing, whatever that is you're witnessing, as a darker negative condition, let's say, and you get to come into the frequency of faith that forgives what that is, whatever it is, and then anchors into a higher state of consciousness. And when I say higher, it's not like tiers of one's better than another. It just means a more refined, elevated viewpoint on that condition that says, you know what, we can do better than this. We can go into a place where this negative stuff isn't happening. I'm going to anchor that. I'm going to bring that into reality. I'm going to know that reality instead. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're watching the news. You witness something about the current corona states, right? The surges of the numbers and all this stuff going on. Now keep in mind, some people's realities, the hospitals are empty. Some people's realities, the hospitals are full and overflowing and people are overwhelmed and really sick. Those two realities are simultaneously happening. This is what is weird for people to understand, because we are living in a multifaceted consciousness of Earth. So what I know is you can then witness for yourself and know for yourself which reality you want to look at. Do you want to continue to feed the consciousness that says, oh my God, the numbers are surging? Or do you want to go, oh, we are mitigating and managing and moving into healthier and healthier states of beingness, right? I'm seeing everybody thriving. And witness in your mind, visualize in your mind, people happy, people healthy, people going to restaurants again, socializing again, connecting again. Instead of constantly putting your energy to what is current condition that was created from all of the consciousness that came before it, now you have an opportunity to say, okay, maybe this is the current condition I'm witnessing. But in truth, what I know, because I am faith informed, I'm going to come into a higher visualization, a better visualization for humanity right now, and visualize us all thriving, right? So again, there's actually a really beautiful movement, and you can find the link in my newsletter. I think also in the Angel Head I posted it, a new movie coming out called Thrive 2. And if any of you watched Thrive 1, it really talks about how we all really want the same things, right? But it is a movement that we sometimes have to be reminded of. So it's a beautiful film to check out, and you can find it inside the Angel Hood or on my newsletters. Just a side note. But the idea of thriving, coming into our true vitality, Super important right now, visualizing that. So that's the best advice I can give you, Jeanette, in terms of how to navigate all the stuff that are coming, out to us from different broadcast stations of people, places, things, whatever, experiences, media especially. What I would say is you get to now decide that your reality, right, is for you to create. And that's the beauty of that. All right, so I'm going to say and leave that there. Thank you for your question. Okay, next question. Julie asked, the angels have given me insight, and I'm unsure with who or when it's best to share it. I've been told to lead by being centered and empathetic. I do feel strongly about the injustice to our sentient beings without a voice, such as animals, children, fetuses, the elderly, and those who are not aware. Although I'm writing a book to get my message of love and carrying out in a positive way, I worry I'm not doing enough. With the release of UFO data this week, I'm curious. Can you ask if the Galactic Federation needs our help and what we can do to help move our planet to the frequency we need to repair our Earth and care for our most vulnerable? Great question, Julie. And I'm going to kind of take this in two parts. So the first thing I'm going to say is let go of worry. Let go of worry. It's a frequency that doesn't serve you, all right? Trust that whatever's coming through you as your book, whatever you are designed to create as your living light language, right? Whatever wants to stream forth is perfect for you to convey, right? And it is for you to convey as your medicine. So just know that the more that you hold positivity, no matter what is occurring, that's the frequency you will emit through that medicine, through that book. So again, you are always doing enough. It's anchoring in knowing that you are enough. If you are in matter, you matter, all right? And you are always enough just by the very existence of you. And this goes for everybody. Your existence is enough. There is nothing you have to prove, nothing you have to do to make yourself more. You are already the all. You are already the all, and you've just fractaled out into one little spark coming into a body that's transmitting all the time from that all, right? So we just have to recognize that about ourselves, the sacredness of who we are. That's the first point. Now, in terms of the UFO data and everything coming forward as disclosure, disclosure is going to come in a drip format, okay, drip feed format. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. It's not going to be like a bam, okay? So we just have to know that it's been coming through. Whether you watch guy.com and certain people who talk about it there or other resources, it's been coming through. We are those aliens, if you would. Our DNA carries codes of light of other extraterrestrial levels. So it's really kind of irrelevant if we want to compartmentalize and say it's us and them. That's still a duality consciousness. So just know that there's already the aliens walking among you. You are that. You are constantly informed by massive amounts of DNA that are not just from the planet itself. Extraterrestrial is coming through the terrestrial, I guess you could say. Now, what people label as the Galactic Federation, I kind of mitigate all of those labels in a sense, and know that everything's held, everything's taken care of. There's nothing we have to do to help them. If anything, they're helping us, right? Our planet is like an infant. It's like kindergarten, all right, compared to the master's and bachelor degrees and all the stuff that's running out there in the universe. So it's never us helping them so much. It will always be them helping us and reminding us of who we truly are and what we're capable of. But what I can say is when you hold a high vibrational frequency, when you are holding your sovereign state, you are holding confidence and security in self first. That means working on your own condition, right? Your own element first. That is going to give the higher celestial councils, galactics, cosmic, whatever you want to label that, opportunity to access your instrument because you're more in alignment harmonically with those frequencies, those Hertz frequencies. So you'll be able to tune into that consciousness more effectively when you work on your own instrument. So how do you work on your own instrument? You pay attention to how you're feeling. You pay attention to what I call the spin states of your arcs, okay? Your arcs are what many people call chakras. I prefer to call them arcs because you're a current, right? And you're arcing over multiple currents. So you are the greatest currency on this planet. Your consciousness is the greatest currency that everybody's vying for. That's what they're trying to grab a hold of, if you would, meaning those on the planet today that work within the programming of mind, whatever that is, whatever, pick your label. Now, to repair the earth, we are the architects. We're always in reparation. We're always moving through the fields, anchoring in. I walked the beach yesterday, and I'm actively anchoring light through my body into the planet and serving the heart of the planet. But I also know Gaia is a very advanced being, okay? She is a collective of all of us, but she also has her own consciousness, and she's very capable of taking care of herself. She's very capable of healing herself. She's very capable of detoxing herself, purging and surging out, okay? What I do as a grid worker, what I do as an architect that's conscious, as an alchemist, is I ask and go into the constructs of realities, aka I'm walking on the beach, and that's a reality, and I program, if you would, or command into the waves and ask Gaia to release and detox the consciousness of suffering and fear and so forth in every wave that crashes on the beach versus having to flood it out, right? So I'm asking to mitigate a little bit of the intensity and saying, hey, can we just a little bit at a time, just keep releasing versus having to have big floods, which we've been experiencing in the past. That is because I'm consciously aware that I can direct reality. So my invitation to you, Julie, is to maybe practice integrating some of these kind of practices so you too know that you have the opportunity, the birthright, and the potential to alchemize your reality through the thoughts you empower, the words you speak, and the actions you take through your life. So I hope that helps you. But to care for the most vulnerable, this is something dear to my heart as the hug angel. The children are very important. Protection of our children and our future cosmic energies that are coming in all the time, the diamond children, as I call them, these are very advanced beings. They just got to grow their bodies, okay? They're coming in with massive amounts of light in a little tiny jump drive, okay? So they have to grow their bodies to be able to embody more of the mastery that they are. Our job as angels on earth, if you would, is caretakers and making sure we look out for our children, whether they're our own or not, being the voice of the voiceless, being advocates, right? So continue to do those things that you can do through your local communities. Continue to strive to give kindness to others locally to you. Work on your own self, then your family, then your community, okay? That's kind of the order, because you can't quench anyone's thirst if your cup is empty. If this is toxic sludge in your body going on, it's not really going to serve anybody anyway. So you got to detox your own consciousness, your own body, your own field first. Then once you feel good about that, then go into your family and friends' immediate tribe circle, then get into the community space from there. So there's these levels to this. And that would be my best advice, is just to keep working to understand that when you start healing your own heart, your own inner child, you are assisting 90,000 or more to come into higher frequency of safety, protection, and the rest. It's very much an inside job, okay? Oftentimes we want to put it out there. It's really up in here. So that's my first, or last, I should say, comment on your question. And thank you, Julie, for asking that. I hope that makes sense. All right, I just want to see what people are saying. Hi, Julie, thank you. You're welcome. Yes, exactly. Observe it, but don't absorb it, Lisa. Yes. My goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa, for your comments. Okay, next question. Lori asks, I would like to know, please, is it true that we are born into slavery or bondage by birth certificate, that we must seek to reclaim our divine sovereignty to reunite to source, love God, by incorporating exercises? Okay, this is very interesting. Let me ask. Okay, so what I'm going to say is this. This planet has been in a quarantine because of the consciousness that is designed here, meaning it's a duality playground. That means light and dark is always at play. There will always be degrees of light and counter light, or the contrast to light, in order for us to learn. However, what's happened is the degree of darkness, if you want to call it that, has expanded to the point where it's overwhelming and very much causing the suffering of overall humanity. And that is due to the fact that there's been outside interference that has not been playing fair, if you would. So we have been put in a quarantine, almost like a cancer would be kind of, mitigated and like locked down so it doesn't spread across the multiverse. And that has been for a long time. All right, that has been for eons, because we've been locked in these concepts of empire states. Empire states means a controlling mechanism, head of state, whatever you want to call that, a controller controlling the masses, right? This means like the parent guardian saying, I know better for you than you know for yourself. And that might have been true at one point because of the fact that the consciousness was just extremely primitive. But as we've elevated consciousness over time, as we've come more and more into our hearts of lovingness, as we've become more aware and awakened to the truth that we are engaged in not just the tangible, visceral, material world, but also the spiritual world. And that has come more and more into play. And we've made peace with that, meaning we haven't made that bad. We haven't demonized it. That's witchcraft and so forth. Think of that, right? Now that we've come into the idea that spirit and science are essentially collaborating and come from the same source, we are liberating ourselves from the need for the parental figure, whatever that may be, whether that's a government, whether that's a religious dogma, whether that's any authority, just call it authority. So what we're doing as a collective is saying, oh no, I'm good. I don't need to be codependent with you. I don't need to keep pleasing you to earn your love. I am love. You are love. We are going to build love, more love together, right? And when we are born into certain empire states, we have been branded, if you would, as collateral, okay? We've been branded as commodity, all right? And that has been happening through the United States of America, can speak to that, through certain systems, social security systems and so forth. And these systems are in the process of being dismantled. So it's trusting that we are graduating. We are getting out of kindergarten. Maybe we're only in first and second grade, the majority of us. Some of us are moving up. But the point is, our consciousness is evolving now to the point where we can trust ourselves, we can trust each other in small groups. Not everybody yet. There's a lot of distrust still running, okay? There's a lot of separation, division. But what I'm going to say is the empire states have created that by design. It's a divide and conquer construct. It's designed to keep us disempowered so we don't collaborate and go against the parental authority. But this is what's happening now. We are reclaiming our sovereignty and saying, you know what, I don't need to make you my enemy. I can make you my ally. But I also am going to claim my sovereignty and know the truth of who I am, the truth of who you are, and you have no rights over me anymore. And this is what is happening now, all right, in my opinion. It is a gradual evolution of consciousness. It is not going to be an overnight success. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. This isn't going to be like some savior is going to come in and wave a magic wand and suddenly we're all free and liberated. The design of this is for us to liberate ourselves and each other through community, through grassroots efforts, through us individually taking action and not waiting for someone to fix it for us. There's no one who's going to come in and fix this for us. We have to do the inside job and we have to share what we know. Now, the more we can communicate, the more that we can come into unification, the more that we can create peace within our hearts and therefore love our neighbor as ourself, love our enemy as ourself, the more that we can see God in the face of everyone, including those who we want to deem evil or bad or crazy, doesn't matter. Those labels are all going to come down eventually. Truth will come up into a collective state enough that we go, wow, I didn't have all of it. You know, I saw this, but I didn't see this. It's all going to come in. It's just going to take a minute. So this is where we get to be challenged, I guess you could say, on the 11:44 a.m. as I'm looking at the clock, this gate. What I'm going to say to you is, it's not about being right. You know, we have to ask ourselves, is it more important to be right or be happy, right? It's not about having to prove something to anybody, okay? What it is about is knowing that when we come into that confidence of what we know for ourselves, that's all that matters. And you don't have to put it on anybody else. You don't have to make them like you. This is a big lesson for everybody, including myself, okay? So what I do know is the quarantine we're experiencing on the planet, as the lockdown, if you would, is an exercise, ultimately, of us recognizing that we've been quarantining ourselves through our consciousness. And so we get to liberate ourselves now. We get to reclaim our liberation. We get to reclaim, like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't lock me down, right? But it's going to happen in groups, in a peaceful way, not through violence, right? And if we go to violence, we're going to have to recognize that everybody is responsible for that. There isn't one group responsible for that, okay? This is where it's going to be interesting, because perseverance and patience are going to be the two keys to this exercise. If you think it's going to all get done this year, think again. It's going to take a while. It will start this year. It will start to feel like we're getting out of this quarantine effect, okay? But we are here to liberate ourselves. We are not here to wait for somebody to do it for us. However, there are certain systems that reflect us that will assist. So it's kind of this mixed thing, all right? The exercises that I would suggest, I do something called Halo Healing twice a month. This is something where it brings you in a harmonic alignment with the light that you are. This is an exercise in and of itself that will assist through these tremendous times of transformation. That alone helps by leaps and bounds, and I invite all of you to consider joining that twice a month if you can, once a month at minimum. But you will continue to learn through Angelic Academy even, that the more you bring in light consciousness, literally light, visualizing light, frequency itself, it starts to dismantle all those energies of density. It's kind of like saying love and fear can't exist in the same space. Light and dark cannot exist in the same space. The more that you're saturating your system with light consciously, the more you are dismantling the dark, all right? So as far as the birth certificate factor, as far as the Social Security factor, and all of those things that we're told through different variant informational fields, the ultimate thing that you must know is you are a sovereign being of light, period. All right? What your body is going through is going to change dramatically when you know that to be true. When you know you are more than the vehicle, right? Don't get attached to the vehicle. No, go higher. Go to, I am this angel in human form, right? Go to the angel angle of who you are and come from that frequency first. So that way, anything that's happening and the fear levels or what's running in the consciousness of humanity at the physical levels doesn't penetrate your experience. And as you do that more and more, as you anchor that more and more as your reality, you will start to see things change around you. You will start to dream awake and liberate yourself and those around you. I teach something called the Angelic Dream Keys, and Diamond Dream Alchemy is a journey that we did last year. And I invite many of you to consider taking it if you haven't already, because it's a transformational alchemical journey that teaches you to hold your light in any condition. There's phone ringing sometimes, there's dogs, making some distortion, meaning like, disruption. And through it all, we held a lot of grace, right? But what it does is it teaches you, just like how you would learn to meditate in the middle of Times Square, it teaches you to hold a high frequency no matter what is occurring around you. It also teaches you individual keys to unlock these states of consciousness or codes that bind you. And these individual keys are liberators. And as you continue to unlock your energy centers, you continue to unlock your frequencies of distortion or inversion, sometimes I call it, that up-down, upside-down state, where you're kind of stuck, okay? You want to bring these frequencies in to get you in the upright state, okay? As you do that and you practice with them, you will never live your life the same. You become then an instrument of dreaming awake a new reality. You become the dream key itself. So I do invite you guys to consider that, and you can find it at angelicacademy.com, and these are very powerful exercises, and I teach them because they are ascension tools. I also teach them because I've found that no matter what the condition, whether somebody's coming in with stage 4 cancer, bipolar, super depressed or suicidal, whatever their states of consciousness, physical, mental, emotional, if they start really utilizing these keys and they actually work even more often with their own individual personal soul keys, which I also install essentially or give through session. It's interesting because your system just completely changes. You just have a different confidence and you have a different fortitude when the storms come in, right? You become that storm. You become the stream. You become the creator of that. So you don't have to be the victim of anything anymore. Does that make sense? I hope so. So thank you for your question. Let me just check in. Hi, Rosemary. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, Julie. Oh, no, sorry, Julie. We already answered yours. Sorry, Lori. All right, Lori, thank you for your question. Okay, so Elaine says, my question, it's a personal question for her. My question is about recent health issues I've been experiencing. I just had a liver biopsy, and on Tuesday we'll have a colonoscopy. I know I need medication for my liver, but I am concerned about my intestinal area. Is everything okay there? So let me just tune into your system for a second. There's some distortions going on. A lot of it's created by your emotional. There's actually a really great supplement. And again, I'm not a practitioner. I'm not a natural health practitioner. I just get these things sometimes from source. So I will share. There's a company called, I want to say Renew Life, something of that nature, Intestinu, I think, or something of that nature. It's a supplement that will help with the inflammation of the gut in general. We carry a lot of emotion in the gut, all right? When we bring attention to those areas, we're looking at our immune system functionality, because that's your first line of defense, really, truly, is your gut. You're looking at your microbiome areas. I would say celery juice is excellent for also hydrochloric acid, I think it is, or yeah, hydrochloric acid in terms of balancing that. Celery juice first thing in the morning before anything else is excellent to start to release certain energetics that are anchored in the gut. Okay, and this includes the colon. As somebody who's very familiar with gut conditions, I would just say there's a lot of elements that go into that. And the fact that you are investigating it is important enough to know that it's your body saying, please pay attention to me. And what I'm going to say is, you are the creator of your reality. So you create, I'm giving you the opportunity to claim in this moment that all is well in my gut. However, in the same token, I'm going to start to service myself, my body, and take accountability, radical accountability for what I put in my body as food, aka fuel, what is causing inflammation potentially in my gut that doesn't need to be, and that could be gluten, that could be dairy, that could be sugar. There's a myriad of things that can cause that. And I'm going to investigate and take care of my body, because now is the time, everybody, more than ever before, for us to pay attention to the suit, the vehicle. Are you treating it like a Honda Civic where you throw in any fuel, anything you do, it doesn't matter, it's going to drive, you know, and just treat it kind of like that? Or are you treating it like a Bugatti or a highly trained, advanced, I should say, supercar? You are a supercar. This is a super car, this vehicle. But we don't treat it like that. We've been programmed to put all sorts of things that self-serve the emotional framework of what makes us feel good, even though the body's like, this is crap, why are you putting this in me? This isn't going to get you through the day, right? And we know, you guys know, you've heard it all before. I'm not going to sit here and be your naturopath in this moment, but you guys know what you put into your system is informing your cells, right? And you get to decide now, are you worth it? Okay? So Elaine, what I'm going to say is, don't drop into the expectation that there's going to be something wrong at all. Know that you are well. Claim it for yourself. I'm not here to claim it for you, but I will say I will hold the faith frequency for you and visualize you in that state of perfect health, no matter what. The end result of what you want your body to feel like, look like, and the rest manifest as material form is what you want to visualize for your highest good, always. Don't go in with, I wonder, I'm worried, I'm fear. That's going to just attract in crap for you to deal with. No. You visualize the highest state of health, always. That is what you visualize. I'm seeing a green flash, Raphael frequency, and emerald light frequency coming in. So I'm giving that into you right now as a reminder that you are perfect health. You might need to make some little adjustments of supplementation, foods, things like that, but you are perfect health. Know that to be true for you. All right? Okay. Thank you for your question. and you're fine. All right? I love you. Vanessa, thank you for your question in advance. She's asking, should I keep seeking information on what happened to my dad, or do I need to be okay with what has been given? Thank you. Sorry if this is a selfish question. It's just weighing heavily on me. I want to say this. It is never selfish. You are never selfish. You are self-full. You are knowing what your heart needs to know as needing support in this moment because it's broken and grief-stricken. Okay? For those of you watching, I'm not going to divulge what your personal journey is, but what I'm going to say, Vanessa, is you are so courageous for walking into this situation in the way that you are, and Archangel Michael is very much around you as the template of safety and protection. That sapphire light is really important for you to bring in right now, for you to feel that safety and protection of the Father. Okay? Know that your Father is well. Know that your Father's consciousness is around you. And know that fundamentally, you can let go of the story, narrative journey that you are on currently if it doesn't make you feel better to stay in it. He does not require anything to be done. All right? That's very important for you to know, he's saying. So just know in this moment of now that your choice to move through the grief and move into a space of loving vibration no matter what is your greatest revenge, if you want to say that, okay? Not necessarily the word of the angels, but I'm just giving it in the human vernacular. You going into your highest station of light, okay, is going to balance this much faster for everybody. So be that and know that your Father is very supportive of that. All is well, okay? I'm just tuning in some more, hold on. Visualize, if you will, the weight of this world. Everybody, come with me for a moment on this journey, thanks to Vanessa. Visualize, if you will, the savior sensation of I have to save my family. I have to save the children. I have to save this world as giant boulders sitting on your shoulders right now. Okay? Really heavy on your shoulders. The weight of the world, like Atlas holding up the world. I want you to visualize these really heavy, heavy energies sitting right here. If you have this savior complex, it's time to get off the cross. It's time to get off that pedestal in your mind of like, I got to be that person. I want you to witness and know and feel in this moment this heaviness as these boulders, okay, like you're kind of holding on your shoulders. Okay, now scrunch your shoulders up, okay, just tighten everything up. And when you let it go, I want you to imagine these boulders just shattering into pebbles and dropping into that violet light stream that we anchored in earlier and just sinking into the stream, and the stream is immediately going to just dismantle them into sand particles and wash it away. Let it go. You don't have to save anybody. You don't have to do anything of that nature. All you need to do is be present with the feeling of love that you are, and know that that is enough to get any job done of what is experiencing right now in the external conditions. This is the thing, many of us think we have to create and save, and I myself as a healer have done that, right? It's like I got to help my clients and put all these people ahead of me and then burn myself out. Now is the time to rebuild the wax. Put in the wax, get the body feeling supplemented, get all the light coming into you to be able to hold the keeping of that light flame within your heart. You are the keepers of the flame. You are the keepers of the light for those who are in the dark. And you are here to be, for them to bear witness unto you. Similar to showing me, and I know I'm moving into something else, Vanessa, I hope that answered your question. But if you remember Harry Met Sally, I'm sure most of you have seen the film, where Sally's in the restaurant doing her fake orgasm. And Rob Reiner's mom in that film, the actress, says, I'll have what she's having, okay? You guys want to be that state of joy and bliss. Now again, not faking it, but you want to be that light, that joy, that, wow, what's going on over there? So people are encouraged and inspired by witnessing you. Be the embodiment of it. There's nothing you have to say or do to people, just be it, right? For them to bear witness to. And as you continue to hold that frequency, then it inspires others to be like, yeah, I wonder what they're doing. And then at that point, you can have conversations and so forth and inspire. The other thing I'm going to share is grief is a powerful key. Grief and gratitude go hand in hand. Grief unlocks different states of our heart so that we can come into greater states of gratitude and grace. The grief, gratitude, and grace are kind of this triangular vortex of frequency that keep exchanging. And sometimes we have little blips of grief, like we're disappointed in something. The key is not to feed the disappointment, get addicted to the disappointment, which can happen, and set up new ways of being grief-stricken all the time. This would come into that state of thinking like we're a victim to things. We have to realize and start to take radical responsibility and accountability, personal accountability, that everything we're experiencing is our creation. We are the auteurs or filmmakers of this virtual reality film. People say this all the time. I've been saying this for decades. So know that if you don't like what you're watching, rewrite the script, rewrite the program, rewrite, the notes, like change the pages in the script, say, I don't really want to watch that anymore. This also comes back to, what are you feeding into your vibration as programs that other people are writing? This goes back to what I was saying, the hook on the fishermen, right, that are trying to hook you through the media, through Netflix, through mainstream media, through alternative media even. They might have the greatest intentions, but if they're coming into any narrative or storyline that you don't want to experience, unplug. Take back your power, your current, your energy currency. That is love. That is the greatest currency that creates everything. So, any questions coming up in the lives? I know I've been going for a little bit, and I just want to invite you guys to once again check out the Angelic Academy, because you can get a free Diamond Light meditation as well. If you sign up for my Sovereign Source newsletter, that will keep you informed of this type of consciousness, this philosophy, the angelic angles, as I like to say, the angel angles. Diamond Light meditation is an alchemical experience. Very simple meditation that runs light streams of ultraviolet, violet, and diamond light. And these are very powerful streams to clear your current. All right, align your light, clear your current. And it's a beautiful stream. I highly recommend everybody getting that supplementation. I call it the vitamin L, the vitamin light, into your body at least once a day. All right, and it's a good place to start if you are new to what I teach as an angelic ascension advisor. And again, I also say subscribe to us on YouTube. Please support my channel, because as I move into the higher states of currencies on YouTube, what I know is I am bringing this light frequency into the channel space itself, into YouTube as a condition of consciousness, as a collective consciousness, and balancing out or harmonizing some of the distorted streams here. So just know that that's really great service. If you can subscribe and share it with your friends for them to subscribe and get this consciousness into this space to balance out some of the distortions, that would be awesome. So I highly recommend that. You can find Angelic Academy on YouTube as well as on all social media platforms. But I really engage the most inside the angelhood. I'm gonna tell you why. The angelhood doesn't have the division, right? The distortions of debate too much going on, all right? It's here to uplift. It's here to inspire. Somebody actually asked, was it you, Elaine, maybe, this morning asked, no, Carolyn, I think it was. Forgive me for the name, not quite sure. But somebody asked this morning, what do they do in the angelhood, right? And so I want you guys to think of it just as a place to come in and have conversation. Just say, hey, this is what's going on in my life, what's going on in your life. What you would do on a Facebook, no different. Share some stories, share some inspired videos. You can paste video links in there. You can share Facebook links in there. You can post tweets in there. You can share YouTube videos. You can share some of your other favorite teachers that are out in the world. We do that all the time, astrologists and things like that. It is really your community. This isn't like my tribe, okay? I want to be very clear here. This is what people mistake this for. It's as if this is only my space and you're just here to kind of witness me. No, the angelhood is really designed to create an alternative space for people to gather that is free of the density, free of the debate, free of the toxic stuff, right? So we don't talk about politics in the angelhood as a rule. We don't talk about a lot of fear-based consciousness. We bring in the inspiration. We bring in the feel-good energetics of, hey, I saw this, look at this photo, whatever. Look at what I found. Sometimes the cosmic comes in and the galactic. Sometimes, so the starseed nations gather there. What I will also say about the angelhood is you can find like-minded people to connect with that might have certain similar interests. And if you put in your specialty under your profile, there's a list of specialties in there. You can find other people of like mind that way. We also have topics, and you can recommend a topic. We also have circles, like groups, and you can recommend creating a circle, all right? So maybe you are, you know, a teacher of some specific type of consciousness that you want to create a circle around, right? Let me know, reach out. You can find me in there and chat with me directly. So again, this is our co-creative community, a sacred sanctuary for soul consciousness that I want to invite you guys to consider making more of your own. Right? And I know a lot of you come in and you just read and you're like, what's going on? And you check in, and that's great. But I also want you to consider bringing your energy to the table, bringing your medicine to the community, and offer up something that can be of service to somebody else, because maybe you're sharing your heart that day of something that you saw that you felt would help assist somebody, and you never know. All right. So anyway, just join the angelhood if you aren't already a member and that feels something in resonance with you. You can also become an ambassador. You get a special invitation link and earn some perks of working with me, or different elements of the Angelic Academy as well, just so you're aware of that. All right, and what else can I say? Let me just go back to the comments. All right, so I'm going to come back and see. Debbie has a question here in the live. Okay, so let me go back and see, what did I miss? Debbie, okay. Debbie, thank you. Asking if the angels can see if there's something I can do to stop cancer from coming back for the third time. Okay, thank you, Debbie. I'm sorry I missed your question. Okay. First and foremost, I'm going to offer my suggestion that there is a beautiful soul sister of mine inside the angelhood named Lisa Sadowski. She is a cancer survivor and thriver, as she likes to say, and she has something called Life's Remission. And the idea is to understand your state of remission and what that looks like. So I really recommend her as an expert in this field. But what I can offer you right now is getting to the cause, the root cause of the cancer itself, okay? Everything's frequency. Everything's emotional when it starts to show up as a pain in the body or an illness or dis-ease, let's call it instead, in the body. It is going to come in first in your field as a frequency. And as you continue to feed that energetically, consciously, it will eventually anchor in the body and create form, aka a tumor or some other condition, right? So one thing I can recommend to you is Ina Segal's book, The Secret Language of the Body, all right? And get to the consciousness of cancer. What is the root cause? Because if you don't handle the root cause, the upset, the trauma, the drama, maybe it's something from childhood, something that you took as a belief and you keep compiling more beliefs on top of it, like compounding interest, right? It eventually creates something. You got to get to the root cause. As I've moved people through into remission from stage 4 cancers, the results that they receive, no matter what, working with me versus not working with me, or somebody like Lisa, is they have a companion that holds a higher frequency for them when they're in the state of healing, let's call it, right? And they move through that journey faster or differently than if they didn't have us working at those levels. I have moved people through where they have said, today you saved my life, because I got to the root cause of what was causing it in the first place. And this was the second time that they had had it. So I understand what your concern is, and you're looking to prevent it. But what I'm going to say is you have to get to the core frequency, the original core wound, core cause. Get real, go into it, dive into it. Don't be afraid of it. Be truthful with it. If you were abused, if you had a tremendous loss, and again, it depends on what type of cancer it is, that you can look up the holographic design, if you would, of energy that creates it, right? Ina Segal's Secret Language of the Body book is excellent. Let me actually post that here so everybody, sorry for the wiggle, I'm on a platform that's a little different. You can, okay, that'll give you the correct spelling. So just know, when we are dealing with any type of illness, pain, suffering physically, we have to look at the core cause at the frequency level, at the emotional level first. Everything starts as frequency first, then it goes into, locks into emotional thought consciousness, and then it continues to kind of engage us to get our attention. And if we don't get it, if it doesn't get our attention while it's still emotional frequency, it will get our attention in the physical body. So you want to look at what's your body trying to tell you. The only reason you're getting the cancer is because you're not paying attention to the original pinprick or the little hammer, little screwdriver. So it comes in with a wrecking ball. It's like, hello, did you not hear me the first 50 times, right? We just keep pushing it off, ignoring it, ignoring our feelings, ignoring the emotional cause. My invitation to you is, please investigate deeply into what is really causing your upset, what is causing it first. Okay, and so that book is going to be excellent for everybody to have in their home as a resource. It's kind of like Louise Hay's Heal Your Life from A to Z, but on steroids, I like to say. It's just very advanced. So I would just highly recommend that as a place to look, so you can get real and take radical accountability. You know, really look at your personal responsibility on it, and go there, and know that you can recreate your reality in any moment. So the good news is, if you're creating cancer, you can create the non-cancer experience as well. All right, so I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question, Debbie. Hope you're still here to receive that. Okay, any other questions before we wrap this up today? I'm so excited that you guys joined, and I love you so much. You know, this has been a beautiful time for me. I've been on vacation near the beach at my aunt's beach house, and really feeling into the energy of myself. And I want to invite all of you to have some time for yourself. Take time for yourself. Unplug from your phones and your screens. Unplug from the people around you for a while. Take a couple days maybe, you know, or longer, depending on the luxury that you have, to just unplug from everything that's around you and feel into your true nature, your light, your energy, you and you alone. Especially if you're an empath and you tend to pick up everybody else's emotions, especially if you don't practice some type of halo, you might take on things that are not your own. If you're feeling depressed, and that's not, you have nothing to be depressed about, but you're around people that are depressed, then you know you're picking up their emotions. So you need to clean, cleanse, clear out. Again, Diamond Light meditation will help with that. But the point I'm making is, take conscious action to put up a buffer, a boundary between you and your sovereign state, what is your domain, and everything else. And you only allow into your domain what you give permission to. I also want to speak to this. When you are making declarations, decrees, and anything that says, I don't allow for, I don't consent to, the do not energetics drops out. So you are consenting and you are allowing. So the instead is to put it in the positive. You say, I only allow for. Give the universe what you allow for to come in. Right? If you remember how I set up the halo, I only allow for the highest consciousness of living light and ultimate love and immaculate grace to remain within our presence always. 24/7, 365 is what I mean by that. All right? And you can reinforce that as much as you want to. But the point I'm making is, if we say, I don't consent and I don't do this, you are actually doing the opposite. So that's a little bit of the flip. So when you hear people saying that, understand there's a lot of light leaders right now, and I'm not here to throw them under the bus, but they are still running certain core misinformation that needs to be corrected out of their systems that might be a mixed bag of energies. So they look all shiny and bright on the outside, but their undercurrent, their underbelly, their undercarriage needs some work. Okay, it's a little rusty, corroded. So they'll be giving you certain energy that feels really light, and then suddenly they zap you. There's like slipstream something in there that's just not feeling good. Pay attention to how it makes you feel. Do not ignore the signs. Do not ignore the signals that drop your current, that make you feel bad, that put the lampshade on your head and dim your light and cause you to go down, right? There's a great movie right now Disney put out that I really enjoyed called Soul. And these souls can run around with these dark energies on them, like, you know, they're stuck under these conscious levels, right, that are really down. So just know it's a little bit true. You know, we can take all that off, though, peel that off. And it's a really powerful time right now to do so. Listen to your body. Allow your body to lead the way. Allow your heart to lead the way more than the logical reasoning mind. Because the logical reasoning mind is in a bit of a war on consciousness right now. Everybody's vying for its attention. Pay attention to what you're giving your attention to. I would say there's these little monkeys that come in and chatter, and if you keep feeding them your bananas, they're going to be great apes before you know it. Okay, that's a really good analogy for how we create thought forms into entities, energies of consciousness in their own right. The next thing you know, that girl is hopping in your seat, hopping in your vehicle and driving the bus and saying, oh, let's go have a drink. Oh, let's go get smoke and get high and escape this nightmare, right? But it isn't serving you to always escape, right? And I'm not against having a good time, guys. I'm not like, you know, what do you call it? Like trying to take the fun out of things sometimes as humans, but I'm just going to say there's a difference between socially relaxing and enjoying yourself sometimes and going to something as a habit, going to something as a crutch, going to something as an escape on a regular basis because you're not willing to look at what you need to deal with inside. And that's the difference, right? So in this moment of now, let's just come back into our hearts. Hi, Debbie. Interesting that you're sharing. I'm seeing what you're sharing. Yeah, a lot of programming is out there around things. Okay. Coming in the heart. Just wrapping this up and harmonizing this. Thank you for your questions. Again, I remind you to remember to come into the Angelhood and join us so you can ask them in advance for next month. And I also say if you resonate with what I'm sharing here and want to have deeper healing experience and deeper alignments with the harmonic light, please join Halo Healing. You can go and watch previous ones to kind of get you into that alignment earlier before the next one. But there is one coming up. In fact, let me give you guys that date because, you know, I know it's coming up and I don't memorize these things, but I just want to say, I believe it's December, really? January? No, yeah, January. Hey, we're going into the past. Okay, the next one I want to say, that's interesting. I said December, isn't it? See, everything's quantum. The next one is January 25th. Isn't that funny? I went to Christmas, December 25th. January 25th, 6 p.m., all right, is the next Halo Healing. And again, this is an acceleration of your light. If you guys are feeling stuck and off kilter, it's like drops you in and starts to expand. And I know many of you are regularly coming into that Halo Healing, and I honor that and thank you for that. Yeah, Lisa, that's a great documentary, Heal, as well. Yes, for sure. The other thing to keep in mind, if you want to be in a weekly membership alignment, that is an ascension accelerator, specifically more around working out some massive stuff in the system. The way to do that and to get into my weekly membership group is to get your angelic, some of your angelic teachings under your belt a little bit. And I do this through Diamond Heart Keys, which is my first initiatory program. You learn about your heart's operating system, as I like to call it, and you learn about manifestation with this beautiful vortex of living light. It's a powerful 8-module course that you can do self-study, audio only. It's designed to take you into you, and I highly recommend that. And then you can jump into halosynthesis with us. Again, this is my private membership group, weekly gathering on Wednesday nights, and that is something that I only invite members in that have some of this consciousness under their belt, so to speak. And they're not coming in as brand new, what's going on, because I don't educate in each one like that. I just drop us in and start getting us going, right? And getting us ascending faster and faster, if you would, vibrating higher and higher, if you would. So I do want to say that's the entry point of that is through Diamond Heart Keys at angelicacademy.com. All right, so let's just move into our hearts, as I mentioned. And I'm just going to give you a heart hug. And what this means is I'm going to vibrate my consciousness, bring in the conduits of light from the seraphim. These are the highest states of consciousness that I can hold, and bring that energy in and align you to that energy as much as I can in this moment, and give you a big heart hug to get you going on your day today, okay? So just feel into your heart. And imagine my hands just coming over your head. So I'm just going to be aligning your light field. Expanding it. Just giving you a big warm hug. It's important to hug each other in this way when we can't do it in person. Gaze into other people's eyes, give them the eye hug. And know that you are loved, no matter what. Stay open to the highest conditions of living light only. And let everything else fall away and dismantle in due accord. It's getting taken care of. There's nothing for you to do but to be the assembly, the sanctuary of love in your heart, and peace in your mind, and beauty in every action you take as kindness and joy in the world. I love you so much. I am here if you need me. You're welcome to schedule a discovery call for free with me. If you want to learn more about my programs, again, just go to angelicacademy.com. And I embrace each and every one of you. I love you so much. Love you, Mom. And thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everybody, for bearing witness and testimony to what I do in the world as a neutral, engaged being of light that bridges all consciousness, all beliefs. That's what I love about the angels. They exist in every belief system. So however you find yourself here, however you step into this container, from wherever you step in from, stay open to the potential that whatever your belief has been in the past, even religious beliefs, there is room for elevation and evolution. Consciousness is constantly changing. It is not meant to stay static in the past. It is not meant to constantly be re-anchored in the present sometimes, right? It evolves. Allow it to evolve through you and be the embodiment of that living light. Go into your day with much peace in your hearts. Blessings to all of you. May all that you gaze upon be blessed in every way. And I love you, and I leave you for now. Until next time, I am Stephanie Lodge, the Hug Angel. And thank you again. Be blessed, be well, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.